This is Rating Descending,
where we watch IMDb's Worst 250 so you don't have to.
My name is Abigail Ward.
And I'm Michelle St. Clair.
And tonight we watched The Love Guru. Pika, an American raised outside of his country by gurus, returns to the States in order to break into the self-help business. His first challenge is to settle the romantic troubles and subsequent professional skid of a star hockey player whose wife left him for a rival athlete. Let's watch. Have you got anything to talk about?
I don't know. Well, I mean, there's all sorts of things in the trades. You know, we are a movie podcast. We could talk about the movie business. What with Drew Barrymore being a scab, or Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis defending a Scientologist rapist.
How about we play Never Have I Ever?
Okay, yeah, sure.
All right.
That sounds a little more light and breezy.
Yeah, put your fingers up.
All right. That everyone can see.
Yep, everyone can see.
I've got 5 fingers up.
You have to keep repeating the amount of fingers you have up. So
five.
Yeah, exactly. Now you get it. Okay. Never have I ever... You can't play this with 2 people, can you?
Not really.
Never
Who
have
know
I
each
ever,
other this well.
Yeah. Never have I ever shat my pants on the first day of work.
All right. 4. Never have I ever pissed on the wall.
4.
4.
This is very revealing as a game, I now realise.
Yeah, why'd you pick? This is the normal drunken group game.
Never have I ever eaten a salmon fillet with my fingers.
3. Okay, no. You know what? No, I have to add context. I have to do it.
No, you don't, because that's all people need to know is that you ate a full-on fillet of salmon with your bare fingers.
It wasn't like served on it with like sauce and a salad or something.
Yes, it was. It was salmon and a salad and chips.
It sounds like you're describing we went to a fucking restaurant and I was like, can I get the salmon? And then I just like huffed it in with my fingers.
A fillet of salmon with their fingers.
It's a fish and chips place.
Yeah, you'd ordered it in.
Instead of getting a battered fish, a normal thing that you eat with your fingers as well, I got the salmon.
No, it's not normal to eat grilled fish. A fillet of salmon as well, which is quite refined. It's not even like flake. It
was a fucking fish and chip shop. It's not refined if it comes from there.
It wasn't even a small one. It was quite a big fillet of salmon that you dug into with your full fucking bare fingers. And there was like cutlery provided that you ignored.
I don't have to listen to your hoity-toity cultural standards.
You didn't do it out of necessity.
I was in the
you did it out of
privacy of my own home.
Well, you didn't, because you were also around me and our friend Tony, who also had to watch this.
Don't.
Yeah, Tony's never forgotten it either. You had the option of cutlery. This wasn't
years ago.
You didn't do this out of necessity.
I never said it was out of necessity.
Well, people would assume, because that's the only reason. Would they assume that
there's no forks available? I have to huff it down with my bare fingers.
Shall we continue with the game?
No. Do you ever think about the format of this podcast? Like, do we need to have an opening if we don't have one? You know?
Today we do.
All right. Never have I ever that's not true. I was gonna make a joke of like gotten pissy about the way someone else eats, and I'm like, I don't know, I'm very pedantic.
Yeah, you are. You're a very neurotic person, of course you have.
I'm Abigail.
You get pissy at about 85% of anything that happens around you. Let's be honest.
I mean, my friends have long identified my frown. I am not always an expressive person. I am more so these days, but I have never been able to contain my frown, which crops up frequently.
Yeah, I struggle to hide my disgust sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when you ate that salmon with your fucking bare fingers.
Oh my fucking God.
Yeah. Have you got a question for me, Michelle?
No, I don't. I don't have a question for you.
Oh.
I've done all there is to do.
What? So all I've done is piss on a wall?
Yeah, that's all.
That's all I've done ever.
That's the only unique thing that you've ever done. So I guess I win then. I can try and think of one.
You finished on 3 and I finished on 4.
I'm bad at never have I ever because I don't know what I haven't done. I wasn't there, you know.
You make a good point.
It's a hard game. It's like, think of something you didn't do that someone else might have done. I'm like, I don't know. There's gone skydiving. I don't know. But that sucks.
That's a great example, though.
But it sucks. But you do that and everyone's like, oh. You're supposed to think of something juicy. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I've been put in a lot of weird situations.
Here's the neuroticism we were just talking about. Michelle's taken issue with the game Never Have I Ever.
It's a bad format.
Classic.
You know what? I like Dropout's Dirty Laundry. It reverses the format. You all have stories of things you've done.
Yeah.
You mix them all up.
Yeah.
A neutral host reads them out.
Yeah.
And then you got to guess whose thing it is.
I've played that at a work function. It's very fun.
Because I know what things I was part of.
Yeah.
I know a lot less about what things I didn't do.
We really didn't have to Never have I ever delved into the fundamental flaws of the game. Never have I ever.
Never have I ever just blindly accepted the rules of some game without understanding them and
I will gladly
questioning
accept
them
a lot of
thoroughly.
things in my life, okay?
Yeah, that's exactly your problem. That's why you are an agent of the man.
No, ignorance is bliss, Michelle. Why don't you get on my level? You know why you're unhappy? You just think too much.
Yeah?
You should do drugs like me.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I mean, I guess we could talk about the movie now if you want. But I feel a bit annoyed that we never completed our game of Never Have I Ever.
Oh, I don't know. Have you got any more? Have you got any? I think I'm on two.
Okay, all right. Let's think of little Michelleisms that I
Oh
can
my
really annihilate you with.
Fucking obliterate me with.
Never have I ever bought a 20-kilo bag of salt.
All right. Well, we've even talked about that one already on the podcast.
It's very wholesome.
Thank you. Never have I ever spent. Oh, never have I ever gone to a game of golf or like played a full game of golf.
Oh, you got me there.
Yeah, I got you
Love
there.
being on the greens.
You love being on the greens.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Never have I ever pretended that I broke my hands to get out of something. Put that last finger down, Michelle.
I can't believe you remember that story.
I remember it.
That story.
9 years ago, Michelle was having a little mentee bee and didn't want to go out, and so told someone that she'd broken her hand.
Inspired by the fact that I had just moved my plasma TV, which was very heavy, and I almost broke my hands. And so I was like, well, it's conceivable that I did.
Such a stupid excuse. And like, this was someone you may have just seen at film school, like not long afterwards.
Yeah.
And they would have just seen you around with did you think about maybe pretending they were broken by bandaging them as if they were broken?
It occurred to me, because they didn't go to film school, but someone else who knew them went to film school.
Right.
That's, yeah. And so I thought about it, and I was like, I can't engage in that level of lying. I will just have to take it as it comes. I'm not good at lying, but I come up with reasons to not do something all the time.
Yeah, there's no greater feeling than cancelling on something. And being cancelled on. I love being cancelled on.
I like being cancelled on when I don't want to do the thing, but you know what I really hate? When I'm really excited for the thing and then someone cancels last minute. It stresses me out to no end. Makes me feel I feel totally derailed.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, oh, all of the momentum for the evening. Not only was this thing I was excited for not happening and now I'm disappointed, I also like, what do I do with myself? I was moving around with the world thinking I had a purpose, and now I do not.
I don't mind if things get cancelled on a weeknight because I'm just ready to crash anyway. But it's on weekends if something gets cancelled that I'm looking forward to. Yeah, I'm a bit bummed.
Sure.
A bit bummed.
Sure.
Speaking of a bit bummed.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's play Never Have I Ever.
Oh my God. We can't do this again.
This week we watched The Love Guru.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Now we mentioned this at the end of last week. Well, we've seen this before many times. I have seen this is another one. We're finally back on the Michelle has seen this many, many times.
Yep.
You know, one of my friends in high school, I had at least one. He watched this movie so often. So
I'm just resentful I got The Love Guru and you got Cat in the Hat.
It's not like I like The Love Guru.
I know, but I just really want a Cat in the Hat, and I really didn't want The Love Guru. Really didn't. Because, we, in one of our old bad movie nights years ago, this was one of the double billings of The Love Guru and Cat in the Hat. So we're like, let's do a Mike Myers double. Not fair, considering the incredible quality difference between the two films. As Cat in the Hat is a solid 10 out of 10 as we have basically made sure of on this podcast. We substantiated it. However, Love Guru not so much.
You know, I know with no ability to get out of it, it has apparently been declared that I hate the Cat in the Hat. I do think this movie's a lot worse. Like when we watched it on the bad movie night, we were all like, "Oh, Cat in the Hat, that was a fun time." It's not a great movie, but it was a fun time. And then we watched The Love Guru, and we're like, "Wow, this is a lot worse."
It just kind of sucked. It was really boring and slow, and there were a lot of dick jokes. It's really a bummer.
I think, though, because of that, for me personally, I actually enjoyed it more this time because I was going in remembering it as just horrid.
Yeah.
And then I was like,
there's
a handful of solid moments.
Yeah, when we watched it for the bad movie night. Yeah, we were all pretty engaged for Cat in the Hat, but by The Love Guru, no one could lick a bar of it.
No one could. No one could stand it. No one could handle it.
No.
One of my biggest complaints about it, that is also a thing in Cat in the Hat, but to a lesser extent, but I think really is the hallmark of Mike Myers' later work.
Can we just not bring Cat in the Hat into this.
Sorry. I think a better comparison is then Austin Powers.
Okay.
Because you can see the shift point in Austin Powers. The first movie, what it is, by the way, is that Mike Myers seemed to think it's very, very funny if a character in a movie sings a pop song.
Yeah.
It's one of his favorite jokes.
Yeah.
First Austin Powers, as far as I remember, no one sings. First half of Spy Who Shagged Me, no one sings. Back half, Dr. Evil sings a full song and I think sings half of another one.
Is that when he's in prison and he's singing?
That's the third movie. That's Goldmember.
Yeah.
This is what I'm getting to. Goldmember, Dr. Evil singing the whole time.
So what's the first song in the second one?
He sings Just the Two of Us.
Oh.
You know.
Is it about him and Mini-Me?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
And then he also raps in one of the verses because he thinks it's really funny if Dr. Evil raps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, when I was a kid, I don't know about you, but like I loved Austin Powers. I liked all of them. And every time it was on free to air
mostly
TV.
seen Spy Who Shagged Me.
Yeah, when it was on free to air TV, I made sure to watch it because I enjoyed it every time. I remember when we went to go see Goldmember in the cinemas, and we really enjoyed it. We really enjoyed it.
It's fascinating. I rewatched Spy Who Shagged Me a few months ago with a friend, and because we also rewatched the first one, and the first one is like a movie, and the second one, the first half of it is a movie, and the second half rapidly deteriorates into the Dr. Evil sketch show, as every second scene becomes just a Dr. Evil sketch.
Also, sorry, what's the first one called?
International Man of Mystery.
That's right. Yeah, sorry.
And then Spy Who Shagged Me, and then Goldmember.
Yep.
They're all very funny sex jokes. Well, I mean, the first one isn't a sex joke.
No, the first one had integrity.
I don't think it did.
It really did.
It's a pretty loose movie. I think Spy Who Shagged Me is the best one.
Had Liz Hurley. Is the Spy Who Shagged Me does it have that bit where there's that guy that gets crushed by the really slow roller?
No, that's in the first one.
That bit is so funny.
That is good, especially
it tickled me
the
so
deleted
much.
scene version where he's getting slowly crushed by the roller, and then it cuts to his wife receiving the call about how he's being crushed.
That's just in the film.
It's not.
What?
It's not. I thought it was.
Are you sure?
It's not.
I remember that
I think
too.
it's just in international versions or something.
I remember it as well.
Yeah, I remembered it too, and then I think I looked it up, and I think it's. Yeah, I think it was like only an international version. So when we watched it on like Netflix or whatever, or like from my download, it wasn't there. And I was like, oh my God, I was so excited for this. So I showed honored friend of the podcast, Gaten Sousa, and other friend, this scene. And we're all like, yeah, that's easily the best scene in any of the three movies.
It's such a good punchline to this stupid slow death.
Yeah.
It was very good. But getting back to the movie at hand.
Yeah.
Mike Myers. I mean, I did a bit of research into Mike Myers for this film because I was like, to me, he's strangely enigmatic.
He is a bit.
I actually feel like I don't understand him or his life very well, but that's also because there isn't that much about it. And actually, he came out with a memoir. A memoir. And I actually would like to read it. And it's because it's not as much a memoir about him, but a memoir about Canada. And like, it's a history of Canada as well and the areas that he grew up in. And I was like, fuck yeah, I'd like to know more about Canada. Canada's been like a very big source of interest for me recently, but it's because I've been listening to Canadian True Crime, which is hosted by an Australian.
Interesting.
Funnily enough, yeah. Who's also kind of a Kiwi.
Canada is the Australia of North America.
Yeah, definitely.
And then New Zealand is Australia's Canada.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. But it's it's a good podcast. And oh my God, I just blanked. Where am I?
Abby, you're talking about the memoir. And Mike Myers.
So I did a bit of research into Mike Myers, which was really interesting. And then I also ended up inevitably looking up Jim Carrey because the two of them are like two peas in a pod.
They are two peas in a pod.
They are just so similar. Like they really led very identical lives.
As we said, Canadians who came up in the like late 80s and early 90s on a sketch comedy program and then went on to make enigmatic movies mostly known for their physical comedy and silly voices.
Even physically, it's hard to like distinguish them. Brunettes, brown eyes, white skin.
Yeah, well, that's just a lot of
actors.
That's just a lot of white people, yeah.
Yeah. But let me get into some of the key details so that we can do the overview, just because I'm keen to talk about this film.
I have had Mike Myers singing 9 to 5 stuck in my head all week, and it's been so bothersome, so troublesome.
Yeah. Okay, so this film was directed by Marco Schnabel. What, you think it's funny?
No, names shouldn't be funny, but some of them sound like a bit... Yeah, sorry.
Mr. Schnabel?
Mr. Schnabel?
Wow, that's fucked up. What, because he's Jewish?
No.
It sounds like a Jewish surname.
No, there's plenty of Jewish surnames that don't elicit laughter in me at all, you know.
It's fucked up. It's fucked up that they don't elicit laughter because they're hilarious. Directed by Marco Schnabel in his directorial debut.
Oh, what the fuck
I know. It's written and produced by Mike Myers.
He's got to be some producer's assistant or something, right?
So let's just think about, again, the fact that Mike Myers wrote this. Let's just meditate on that for a moment.
Yes.
Starring lots of people. The end. It's starring Myers, Jessica Alba, Justin Timberlake. And it's really weird thinking about how just 2 years later, Justin Timberlake would be in The Social Network. Like, did Aaron Sorkin watch this and was like, that's a great pick for Sean Parker?
Well, this was in the 4-year period where Justin Timberlake got movie roles.
Yeah. Megan Good as a returning all-star, because Megan Good has been in 2 films already.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I can't remember one of them. One was One Missed Call, and then there was another one, but I can't remember the other one.
Who did she play?
I can't remember. I'll find it.
In Love Guru?
Oh, she plays Prudence.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Vern Troyer. Me, coming back as the coach. John Oliver's debut in any film, because Mike Myers specifically selected him because he thought he was funny.
Wow.
And Ben Kingsley. And funnily enough, who else? Like Omid Jalili is also listed here. And I was like, sure, I don't remember him being in it. He's like one of the top billed people in the film. His scene got cut. But you might better know him from like The Mummy as like the guy that's eaten by the scarab.
Oh, that guy. Yeah, I've seen his stand-up.
He's fab. He's really great. He was also in an episode of Black Books. He was in My Family and Other Animals as Spiro. He's great.
He had a real moment in the early 2000s.
He really did. And then we've also got some, cameos. We've got, well, it's less a cameo, but Stephen Colbert and Jim Gaffigan are playing those announcers.
Easily, for me, the funniest bit of the movie.
Yeah.
I think the joke sort of overplays it at the end, but certainly in the first half, they're easily
they're
the best bit of the
enjoyable.
movie,
They're great to watch. And then as cameos, we've got Mariska Hargitay, we've got Jessica Simpson, we've got Kanye West, we've got Val Kilmer, we've got Rob Blake, we've got Deepak Chopra, we've got Oprah Winfrey. There's a lot.
Oprah Winfrey, sort of.
Sort of. Well, she consented to it, as did Celine Dion, sort of. We'll get to that.
She consented to it as a really funny way to frame someone's appearance in a movie.
Well, they got stock footage, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
We'll talk about it later. The budget of this film was $62 million. How much do you think it made, Michelle?
Oh, I think it's one of those ones where it's tight and it lost money. So I'm gonna say it made 65 million.
It made 40 million.
Ooh.
Yeah. Really, a real sting.
Yeah.
So in terms of the backstory of this film as well, Myers came up with the idea for Guru Pitka in the mid-90s. The character was originally planned for the Austin Powers franchise. Myers began workshopping the character in New York comedy clubs in 2005. He billed these live shows as An Evening with His Holiness, the Guru Pitka.
Wait, so people would go see stand-up and it was him doing this character?
Yes. And Myers would say about a third of the audience were friends of mine who would come. A third of the audience would be people that had heard I was doing it. And a third would be people thinking they were coming to see an actual guru. I did that for a year and I videotaped them and it informed me. Myers wore a prosthetic nose for the character, both in the live performances and the film.
Fucking thought so.
Yeah.
You know what? I gotta say, it must be a good prosthetic nose because I didn't notice.
It's quite subtle. It's just subtle. A slight increase of size, I guess. The Love Guru was in part inspired by Myers' career-long desire to make a hockey movie. A fan of the Toronto Maple Leafs, Myers described the film's plot as wish fulfillment, saying, I figure the only way that my team will win a cup is if I write it. The first-time director, Marco Schnabel, had previously worked with Myers as a second-unit director on Austin Powers and Goldmember.
Oh, there we go, yeah.
That's why he got his breakout. And also, The Love Guru was intended to start a franchise itself.
I can imagine it. He definitely thinks this is his new Austin Powers.
Yeah.
For sure he does.
Yeah. So here's the overview. I kept it very simple. Guru Pitka is the second best guru in the world after Deepak Chopra. The owner of a Toronto hockey team, Jane employs him to help out with their star player, Darren. Darren is on a losing streak after his wife, Prudence, left him for a Los Angeles hockey player, Jacques Lecoq. Pitka has a crush on Jane, although his chastity belt means he can't act on his desires, and Jane feels rejected by him as a result. As he helps Darren win his wife back and stand up to his controlling mother, Pitka also realizes he doesn't need to beat Deepak Chopra and gets his chastity belt removed so he can be with Jane. The end.
Yeah, that is kind of it.
Yeah.
That is really kind of it.
I think the most unbelievable thing about this film, other than like the elephant sex scene and all of the cameos and all of the musical sequences, it's really just the idea that Jessica Alba would be attracted to Guru Pitka.
Yeah. Well, that anyone would find him appealing in person.
Like that you'd want to spend more than 20 minutes with him at a time.
Yeah.
God, this guy's a drain.
As anything, yeah, he seems like he would be very draining and tedious.
He would be.
He does do a lot of he does the same fucking Cat in the Hat thing of punctuating every single joke he does with going... and then he does the same arm movement.
It's endearing when he's the Cat in the Hat because he's a strange supernatural being.
He does the same arm movement, though.
Well, Mike Myers only has so many things, okay?
That's what I'm saying. He should have more.
Well, he maxed out in Cat in the Hat. Perfect. Hit his quota at the end. He cat maxed.
Yeah.
That's right. So remember Mike Myers' tiny little cameo in Inglourious Bastards?
Oh, yeah.
That was a great cameo.
That's a good little scene.
Yeah.
It kind of made people go like, wow, yeah, he can act. He's in scenes.
I think that's cool. The reason he's so interesting as a voice actor and as a comedian is that you can tell he doesn't just have like North America. He's not just North American inspired, like because his parents were English. I think his grandmother was Scottish, and that's how he did such a good Shrek voice. He's really fascinated by England apparently, and he loves English culture and English history. I was saying to Gaiden earlier today, friend of the podcast, Gaiden Sousa, that I actually feel like Mike Myers, from what I've read about him, which is that he really likes histories, he really likes English history, war history, and he loves playing his ukulele at home. Kind of sounds autistic to me.
He does a bit.
He like reads a bit as like a bit autistic, bit of a strange guy. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I'm coming around.
He's just mysterious to me. I don't know why. There's like a strange veil of mystery to him. You know, some people have claimed that he's like, when we did Cat in the Hat, we were reading about how he was really difficult and people had to like feed him chocolates out of a Tupperware container.
It's very specific.
Very specific. Well, in this, I read, look, this isn't actually a piece of trivia, so I'll talk about it because I just read it outside of this. But there was a guy that claimed he was hired as a bodyguard for Mike Myers on this shoot. Like he was just like there to like stand guard outside his trailer or something. And he claimed that he got fired because he looked at Mike Myers directly in the eye. Everyone was like, you can't look at him directly in the eye. And he was like, well, I have to if I can tell that it's him going into the trailer. Apparently he looked at him for a moment and then within an hour he got fired. And he claimed that. And then like everyone from the film came forward being like, that is like not true at all. Like that's not a rule. So it's hard to know what stories to believe about certain stars.
Yeah, I mean,
set.
Sometimes I see those like Reddit posts, especially of like, you know, what celebrity was actually secretly really rude, right? And people tell their stories, and like sometimes it is like a celebrity being rude, and sometimes it's like it's this person asking a lot of someone.
Yeah.
That if a regular person responded, it would be fine, but they feel entitled to this celebrity's time and attention.
100%. Sometimes you read it's like, oh, this nightmare celebrity where they literally just weren't friendly enough.
Yeah.
It's like not like they were unfriendly, but it's like they didn't even stop and like they didn't want to talk. They were so brusque and rude. And it's like, what if they just have a life? Leave them alone. Like I think a lot of people would think I'm rude because when I walk around in the daily world, like in the daily world, in my daily life, out in the world, I don't really want to stop and chat to strangers. I just don't enjoy it that much.
Yeah, I don't like it. If someone comes up to me and is like, hey, can you sign this? I would be like,
They'd be like, she's so rude.
Yeah, see?
She didn't even like want to stop and talk.
So I don't want to be famous because I couldn't handle it. I couldn't handle it. People would be going like, Michelle, please give me your attention. And I would go, ah. You know what I mean? I'd go like, ah. I'd go like, ooh. I'd go like, ah. I'd go like, oh. I'd go like, ooh, oh, no. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah? Do you feel the same way?
Yeah.
Play with me. Come on.
There was like this glint in your eye as you did that where you were like, it was almost devilish. And I didn't want to participate. It's too mischievous.
It's too mischievous for Abigail.
Well, how am I supposed to participate, Michelle? What entrance is there for me when you're going, what do you want?
You can join in.
What do you want from me? Leave me alone. All right?
Well,
give me some peace.
Ward is the rudest celebrity I've ever met.
Yeah, you film this interaction between us and then you just like edit it onto a stranger coming up and talking to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Abigail Ward's a bitch. Yeah.
How could she?
How could she?
You're really not wanting to like entertain me today. No. I'm thinking about listeners earlier today. We were talking about the difference between what up the road means, and Abby was not having a single fucking bar of my definition. And it's not that she was wrong.
We're only on this planet for so long, Michelle. I just don't know how much of my life I want to spend arguing with you about like inanities. Tell them what you said so that other people can see how fucked up it was.
Up the road is relative to the key thing, right? So like if you're on the main road, up or down is referencing like towards or away from like the center city, right? But if you're on like one of the, capillary roads, a side road, a perpendicular road to that main road, up is like up and away from that road. If I'm like up the road, I'm going up and away from the main road.
Hang on. Wait, before you said that up and down is like it's in regard to where it is located towards the city? Are you saying like up the road is the road away from the city?
Yeah.
So that means that, because we live in the northern suburbs of Melbourne, and so if you're going up the road here, if you're going up High Street, you're going north. And if you're going down High Street, you're going south. However, if we were in South Yarra and we were going up Chapel Street, that to you is not going north. That would be going south away from the city. That would be going up the street is south. Because I think what you mean is that up is north and down is south.
No, I don't.
So in the south, in the southern suburbs, if you're going northwards, you'd be saying I'm going down the street.
I'm just saying it's all relative, right? We're not fucking birds. We
don't
didn't
have an
evolve
answer.
with compasses.
You don't have an answer.
I don't orient my life based on the fucking cardinal directions.
You can't orient yourself in general, Michelle, all right?
because I'm primal. I go like, how is things in relation to each other?
It's primal
North
to have
is
a sense
only
of direction.
up because it's relative. We orient maps that way. East could be up if you turned the map that direction.
Compass. It's easy to orient yourself when you look at the sun.
The sun isn't north or south.
No, but the sun tells you. Yeah, it's not north or south. It's east and west. And in the winter, it's slightly north. So that way you can look at the position of the sun in the sky and think, that looks pretty northwest. So I guess it's going to set soon. And that means I'm facing northwest. Because I'm looking at it.
Northwest doesn't mean anything to me if I'm just walking around my village.
What are you your village?
I'm saying primal, old school.
You're not. Oh. Again, you've like baited me into this conversation when I had shut it down. It is not worth my time. It's not worth my time. You're just doing it to get a rise out of me.
Abigail is not playing with me today.
Nah, I'm not fucking around.
No, you're here.
I'm here to talk about the love guru.
You're here to get into the serious business of the love guru.
That's right. I've got a lot to say.
Well, come on, fucking say it if you're so entertaining.
Yeah, it wasn't good, was it? I didn't enjoy it myself.
No. You left it home with your girlfriend in Canada.
My girlfriend in Canada?
I don't know. I was thinking of the American bit of like, I have a secret girlfriend. They always say she's from Canada. We'd probably just say she's from a different state.
Yeah.
I don't know why they always say in Canada. That's crazy. I guess a lot of things are set in New York. I don't know why someone in LA would be like, I have a girlfriend in Canada. I'd be like, that's so far away.
The long distance in their imaginary
Yeah,
world.
but you could just say she lives in North California and you'd be like, well, that's like 5 hours away.
Yeah, but that makes it harder because what if they're like, well, why does she never visit you if she's only 5 hours away? But that she's really far away. Makes a lot of sense.
But I think if you're a child, that's still far away that you don't have any control over that.
Yeah. I can't agree with you here, Michelle. I'm sorry.
If I was 15, I wasn't having like roaming trips by myself.
No, but also if she's only 5 hours away, I feel like at some point you'd either have to kill her off or you'd have to...
You don't engage in these lies because you have forward planning.
That's true, actually.
Why
does it have to be It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We're getting caught up in small things. We almost started talking about the film, but we didn't.
Okay.
What are we supposed to talk about? Let's talk about Justin Timberlake.
Oh, okay. I wrote down in my notes, I think you're going to hate it. I think you're just against me today, and I think you're going to hate this.
What?
I wrote down, whatever Justin Timberlake is doing, I don't know, it kind of works for me.
So you think I'm weird for liking Cat in the Hat, but you're like, you reckon this performance was...
I think it kind of works. I think it kind of works for me.
He's a fun time.
Yeah.
It's a very big performance.
Especially it's a very big it's a very big movie, you know.
Yeah.
But especially with his ridiculous French accent that French Canadian accent that he obviously knows is bad.
Yes.
You know. And with his like euphemisms that don't quite translate right, you know. To stop this or I'll punch you in this shirt.
Yes.
It's ridiculous.
He is a good fun.
Tabernacle.
He's a highlight. He is.
I mean, there's also the gag, like the gag is that he has an enormous penis, which is like whatever. But it does do one of my favorite gags, which is the sound of a penis plopping. So then there's the bit where he's like, "This interview is over," and then he takes out his towel, and then you just hear thud as his penis allegedly hits the ground.
Yeah,
that's funny.
That's funny.
I think that's funny.
That's all right.
It's a little.
They loved penis gags in this film.
They really did.
Oh, like that bit where they're like outlining that thing that looks like a penis.
Oh yeah. There's several different outlining the shape of a penis gag.
Yeah, there's a lot of penis jokes. We should have counted them.
We really should have. If we ever have any reason to, we should go through and like fucking ding a clicker every time there's a penis joke.
I'm not watching this film again, Michelle. I'm not doing it again.
Tabernacle.
You know what's so weird? It's like Claude of his own accord had said the other day, he was like, "Oh, we should watch The Love Guru."
What the fuck?
I know, because he thought it'd be funny, and then I was like, "That's so weird. It's the next film on the list." And then and then I put it on the other night to watch it, and I was like, "Do you want to watch it?" And he was like, "Oh, fuck no." No way.
Did he mean it like he thought the movie would be funny?
Yeah.
Or like it would be funny to watch it? Wouldn't that be funny to watch?
Both.
Okay, sure. I get it.
Both.
I get it. We have this podcast. I can't judge too heavily.
What are we doing with our lives?
We're arguing on air.
About nothing.
About nothing. That's what we do.
Watched. How many films are we on now? How many bad films have we watched? Where are we up to?
We have watched almost 150.
Oh my god.
We've been doing this for what, like 3 years? Over 3 years?
3/5 of the way through.
Do you think we'd be better friends if we didn't do this?
Oh, yeah. We've been like through so many lows together because of this podcast. Our friendship would be so much more simple and healthy if we didn't do this together.
It'd be a lot more solid.
Yeah.
I think I'd care for you a lot more deeply.
I think we'd fight less.
Certainly. Certainly it wouldn't be so public.
Instead, we're forced together every week to talk about something we didn't want to participate in.
We are the architects of the demise of our own friendship.
Oh, okay. I mean, is there anything you want to talk about?
Yeah, there's two things. One is that there's the scene where they go to Niagara Falls, where they're just so obviously not at Niagara Falls.
Yeah, it's a really bad green screen.
Really bad green screen. The other, though, is I would be remiss if I didn't talk about Rajneesh, his assistant.
Yeah.
Because he's kind of the goat of the film.
He's fantastic.
He's great.
He's actually so sweet and charismatic. I could watch him forever.
The actor is charming.
Yeah.
2 out of 3 of the songs he chimes in, one with an acoustic when they sing more than words, which again is a catchy song, so it gets stuck in your head, but then it's the version of them singing it. And then at the end, they're singing the Joker.
Yeah, the Joker.
The Joker. And he shows up with a banjo, so he's multi-instrumental.
Yeah.
You know?
He's a talented
crazy.
man,
He's a
and
talented
he's humble
guy.
about it too.
He is, yeah.
Yeah, he's devoted his life to the service of someone else, but he himself.
And he knows that Guru Pitka is doing wrong. When he is like, oh, I can approve Darren Roanoke, but he hasn't actually confronted his mom. He hasn't done the drama thing. This movie is also obsessed with acronyms. Absolutely obsessed with acronyms.
Wait, was Darren's surname Roanoke?
Yeah, wasn't it? Didn't they call it? Wasn't he Darren Roanoke?
Yeah, I think you're right. It was his surname.
I'm just trying to think of Jim Gaffigan's voice going, oh, Darren Roanoke's at it again.
I didn't know Roanoke could be a surname. I thought Roanoke was the Native American tribe, and that's the whole area in Virginia that a lot of things were named after. Like the first settlement was Roanoke.
Well, a lot of places become names.
That's true.
You know.
Abigail, Australia.
Yeah. Abigail South.
Yeah. Do you want to hear some trivia?
Yeah, all right. Why not?
All right. Fuck this film. I can't believe we had to watch it again.
IMDb trivia.
I'm a lot looser than I thought I would be.
I know. I was thinking that. That's why. That's why I was like,
come on, Abby. I think my brain's dying. I don't know what's going on. I'm sorry. I'm having a great time. If it helps at all.
Good. Even though we're arguing, we're doing our good arguing, not our bad.
You don't want to hear the bad arguing.
You don't want to hear the bad.
It gets nasty. I call Michelle a whore.
Oh, it gets nasty.
Have you heard of what Mothercraft is?
Isn't that the head spaceship in a UFO invasion? Is the Mothercraft?
Mothercraft to me sounds like a new rock band or like
Wolf Mother kind of thing.
Yeah, or maybe even like a 70s Deep Purple-esque.
Oh, they were
band.
Mothercraft. Wow,
Mothercraft.
Mothercraft. Yeah, I get you.
But no, it was like this. Oh, look, I don't have to get into it, but I will get into it.
You're
actually.
a little late
Happy
for that.
Story time. Happy story time. So, this, I was reading this Facebook post today. Look, I'm on a Facebook group for like a lot of old people.
Focus up. I'm
on a Facebook group, and someone had posted this like really gross old 50s advertisement for really old 50s photo of
Keep it together, Abigail. You can tell the story. It's your job.
I feel like I had one glass of wine at lunch. Did that undo me? Like, I don't understand.
You've been unwound.
Maybe I should just give up. This is so difficult.
You can't. And then I have to cut it all out.
Okay.
Finish your story, Ward.
Okay. So there was this old 50s photo of like from a book of like what women should do for their husbands when their husbands get home. And it's like little tips. It's like, look pretty, take your shoes off for him. Remember that his topic of conversation is far more important than yours and always will be.
Oh my God.
Very 50s, how to be a good wife.
It's just still startling how flagrant it is.
I know, right? And then all of these women were commenting being like, oh, I remember when I grew up in the 60s, we were taught this kind of stuff in Mothercraft. And I was like, what the fuck is Mothercraft?
Mothercraft!
Welcome to my mama. She's got big blobby.
She's got big blobbies.
I think I'm struggling, man.
Abby, come on, you got this. I'm with you. I'm so with you.
And then, and so I was like, what's Mothercraft? And I was looking into it, and it was like this old program of teaching in like the 50s and 60s, and it started in the 30s. But it wasn't just like, this is how to be a good mother if you have babies, because that would be educational and helpful, and some of us even learnt things like that. But it was more like, you have to be a mom. It's the only thing you've got as an option.
Oh my God.
And all these women were like, oh yeah, I remember like growing up in Preston in the 60s, and like we were just told that we had to be mums, and we became mums. It was all these women in the comments realizing like, did we get had? Like, did Mothercraft fuck us up? And now I'm really interested in like the whole history of Mothercraft lessonings. Lessonings? Am I okay?
You've got this. You're okay.
What's going on?
Abby, look at me. I know we've had fights. Hold my hand. We're closer today. You got the job.
Thanks. Thanks, mommy. Oh, yeah.
That's Mothercraft?
That's Mothercraft. Take off his shoes. Your opinion doesn't mean as much as his does, and it never will.
It's telling that I went for the bass.
Is it?
No, not really.
You're a bottom? I don't know. What is it? What does it mean?
No, I started playing the I played the bass first. Not that I'm a bottom.
No, but does it mean you're a bottom?
No.
I just think bassists are bottoms. Guitarists are tops.
You don't know enough bassists, and you do not know enough guitarists. Let me tell you, those fuckers are bottoms.
All right, trivia. Here we go. You can cut the whole Mothercraft thing.
No.
As revealed on an episode of Through the Keyhole, Vern Troyer kept much of the small-sized furniture in Coach Chekhov's office that was designed for this movie, and he used them in his own house.
I think you mean Coach Cherkov.
Oh, Chekhov. Yeah.
Because it sounds like jerk off.
Yeah.
But this movie loves puns.
It's so funny.
Especially if it's like, what if Hindi sounded actually like something sexual or disgusting?
Yeah, like tugging my pud.
Tugging my pudder.
Yeah.
Tugging
my pudder. Yep.
Yeah.
Did you like that piece of trivia?
I did.
Great. According to Stephen Colbert, from an interview with Chris Rock, Colbert and Jim Gaffigan improvised the scenes because they were filmed during a writer's strike.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh. Well, to be fair, that was also the writer's strike in which like Conan was allowed to go on without the writers and stuff. The rules are different for this one. That's why Drew Barrymore is scabbing, but Conan back in that one wasn't.
Yeah.
So maybe that wasn't scabbing at the time.
Yeah.
I don't know enough about the situation.
Well, it's not
Maybe
like
it
they
was.
got another writer in to do the lines. They just kind of. I mean, yeah, it is a bit scary.
Like that's the thing.
They
like,
continued with the scene.
If it's a picketed production, but also that's what I mean in that the rules are different. Maybe it wasn't.
Yeah. Around the time of the second Austin Powers movie, Mike Myers became friends with Deepak Chopra because Chopra learned that Myers loved his books.
Ah.
Like Myers being partially inspired by Chopra to make this movie, Deepak was inspired by Myers to write an inspirational novel called Why Is God Laughing? The story of a comedian named Mickey Fellows who, like Myers, begins a spiritual quest after the death of his father. Myers contributed to the foreword of the book.
Oh.
So I had read, and actually, this is just to add on to that. After the death of his father in 1991, Mike Myers set out on a quest for spiritual enlightenment.
Oh.
He consulted self-help gurus, studied the teachings of Indian yogis, read up on Deepak Chopra, Kurt Vonnegut, and Gary Zukov, and through all of that, ended up creating the ideas for the characters of Guru Pitka and Austin Powers. So yeah, he was basically inspired after his dad died, went on a spiritual quest, and then him and Deepak became really good buddies.
Well, that's fun.
That's quite cute, isn't
That's
it?
kind of cute. That's kind of sweet.
Also, this is what I mean about like Mike Myers having autistic energy. Why do I say like autistic energy? Mike Myers, between his creative efforts, enjoys other passions, including playing hockey, painting, playing the ukulele, and watching the Military Channel.
Yeah, it's big autistic energy.
Yeah, big autistic energy.
It's, as one of the people that is big autistic energy.
Oprah Winfrey, this is what we were talking about earlier. Oprah Winfrey and Celine Dion were both approached to cameo in the film. Neither was available for the scheduled filming dates, but they both consented to being represented via stock footage and, in Winfrey's case, a voice impersonator.
I thought that must be what it was.
In editing, however, it was found that the stock footage they had done of Dion's concerts could not be matched with the movie's own footage, forcing them to represent Dion via a single long shot of a body double. And I just went on a bit of a search for this because I wanted to know what Mike Myers thought about this film, you know? Because a lot of people were like, this is the death of his career. In a 2014 interview with GQ, Myers revealed that he has no regrets about The Love Guru. I just make stuff, and sometimes it does well, Myers said. But there's a lot in that movie, The Love Guru, comedically, that I'm really, really proud of. I completely recognize it didn't meet an audience. I just love making stuff, dude. You know, you can't be too attached up, and you can't be too attached down.
I think the very end of that doesn't mean anything,
No.
but I actually kind of vibe that. Yeah, that's
actually,
really great.
again, like I feel like the more I looked into it, I was like, he actually kind of sounds like a really decent, put together guy.
Yeah, I think it's a great approach to just make things and then figure out what does and doesn't connect as you go. You know?
Do you want to hear some reviews?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Reviews!
Rotten Tomatoes gave The Love Guru an approval rating of 13%. The website's critical consensus reads, The Love Guru features far too many gross-out gags and too few earned laughs, ranking as one of Mike Myers' poorest outings. Poorest outings.
Jeez.
So he's like let out on a leash. A.O. Scott of the New York Times wrote, The word unfunny surely applies to Mr. Myers' obnoxious attempts to find mirth in physical and cultural differences, but does not quite capture the strenuous unpleasantness of his performance. No, The Love Guru is downright anti-funny, an experience that makes you wonder if you will ever laugh again.
Oh my God.
Anti-funny is fantastic.
If you'll ever laugh again.
Roger Ebert gave the film 1 out of 4 stars, writing, Myers has made some funny movies, but this film could have been written on toilet walls by callow adolescents.
Oof.
Every reference to a human sex organ or process of defecation is not automatically funny simply because it is naughty, but Myers seems to labor under that delusion. And Harry Knowles of Ain't It Cool News wrote a highly negative review, saying, The Love Guru isn't merely a bad film, but a painful experience. He considered it one of the worst films of at least the past several years and also declared it might ruin Myers' career.
Wow.
Here is a review left on IMDb by Silver Mashup, and it's 10 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Still Made Me Laugh. Rewatching this 2020, due to COVID. It's my 5th time total. Still made me laugh. 10 out of 10. Due to COVID.
Due to all those crows.
Here's a review left by Magoo for
Magoo himself.
10 out of 10 review called Mike Myers equals King of Humor. I can't believe the negative comments I'm seeing about this movie. People just don't have a sense of humor or have something against Mike Myers, Canadians, or the Toronto Maple Leafs. I would rate this movie a 7.5, but since people don't know how to critic movies, I gave it 10. I don't know what people are expecting from these movies. Jack Lecoq Grand, like / Come on! Funny stuff. Timber Blake plays an excellent French-Canadian hockey player. 2 thumbs up for him. I kind of feel sorry about all the losers out there that don't get to laugh. They must have serious issues. I can't wait for more work to come from Mike Myers. Bye! 10 out of 10.
Wow.
And here's a review left by Well Done Eat 3, called Without Humor, the Brain is Grey Matter. This movie is huge. ... That's so ominous. This movie is huge. This is a 10 out of 10 review. This movie is huge.
You fucking nailed it, man.
And crazy funny. We all love it. So many tears of laughing so loud. Wow. Hang on. So hard. Mike, I suggest you to meet Michael Youn for a next crazy funny step. Remember, without humor, the brain is grey matter. Laughter is the best treatment against sadness. Don't worry about what those boring grey matter wrote. Be happy.
What?
Enjoy the movie. Again, for the guidelines, Mike Myers is great. All actors are great. This movie is huge and crazy funny. We all of it love so many tears of laughing so hard. Mike, I suggest you to meet Michael Youn for a next crazy funny step. Remember, without humor, the brain is grey matter. Laughter is the best treatment against the sadness. Don't worry about what those boring grey matter wrote. Be happy. Enjoy the movie. Cheers. TD.
They just read it twice.
I think they had a stroke as they wrote it.
Their grey matter had a problem.
Remember, without laughter.
I'm fucking crying. I'm fucking crying.
Fucking crying right now.
I'm fucking crying right now.
Well, that was Well Done Eat 3's stroke. What's your review?
Boy, when I think about it, we really didn't get into this movie. We didn't talk about how unsettling seeing Mike Myers' head on a child's body digitally was.
Yeah, we did forget that, didn't we?
Of how the guru chant he has is Mariska Hargitay, a joke that pays off 5 minutes into the movie when we see Mariska Hargitay and continues to be repeated
Why did
endlessly
they do
throughout.
it 5 minutes in?
I don't know. Also, Ben Kingsley must have sold his soul at some point because he is super comfortable doing characters that I would describe as a little racist.
Yeah, he just wanted a holiday house.
Yeah, probably.
More power to him.
But amongst all that, I did have 1 or 2 little chucks, amidst here and there. And I will say, as much as I made fun of his gag of like, what if he sang 9 to 5 in an Indian accent and with a sitar? Wouldn't that be silly? He's a good singer. So,
yeah.
It's a good time.
So what's the review, Michelle? What's the rating?
I was going to give it, I think, a 5.2, but it is also mildly racist. And I don't think it is intentionally. I think the Guru Pitku character himself, it's clearly made from the perspective of someone, as you said, who's like read up about all of this. He's playing a white character as well. He's trying to not... It seems like it's not particularly directed at Indian culture so much as guru.
As gurus, yeah.
Like that particular new age self-help guru. Yeah. But then there's a lot of jokes that do dabble in this Indian word would be very funny.
Yeah.
I don't like that so much.
Yeah.
So I'm going to instead give it a 4.8.
Fair.
Knock it down a bit.
Actually, I find that's a very generous rating.
It is, yeah.
I would actually, because I feel like I went into a bit of a fugue state for the middle bit of this film where
I think you went into a fugue state in the middle of this podcast.
Yeah, a bit. Yes. And I hated it. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10.
Hey,
I think that's just reasonable. I don't think I could give it anything above that.
we both gave it higher than IMDb did.
Yeah, we both did.
So,
Still not great for us, is it?
No, it's not.
Cat in the Hat's still a 10, obviously. So just going
Again,
through Mike
Cat in the Hat
Myers'
for me is a
filmography.
6. One of my top 5 ratings, I think.
Really? Okay, well hey. Hey now, hey
We're
there.
so close to the end. You got
Hey, sugar
now.
baby. Hey, little lady.
Well, hey there,
Hey
sugar
there,
lady.
sugar pie. So, guys, hey, bit of a serious one here. We're
Yeah.
on social media. You can find us on on X
Ugh.
as Rate Descend Pod. You can find us on TikTok.
You got
You
this.
can find us on TikTok under Rating Descending, or you can email us at ratingdescending@gmail.com. We love the emails. We kiss the screen when we see them. So let us kiss the screen again.
Yeah. Guys, just kiss the screen.
Kiss the fucking screen, bitch.
Once you've kissed the screen, though, you can find us on our own social media. You can find me on X and Instagram at michelle.stclair. Please don't kiss the screen when you look at my profile.
Oh, and you can find us on our personal accounts. I'm on Insta under Abigail J. Ward.
And pretty please, leave us a review. Give us 5 little kissy stars wherever you get your podcasts.
So that was another Mike Myers catastrophe. What are we watching next week, Michelle?
Oh, Abigail, next week we are watching Furry Vengeance.
Oh, I hope it is what I think it is.
Yeah, little BF, little Brenny phrase.
I just hope it's a bunch of people at a furry con just getting vengeance on each other, like doing a purge.
Yeah, it is the Purge. Brendan Fraser, he was a classic wolf style furry.
Yeah.
And they're all trying to get their fucking vengeance
They're just
against
trying to
the
get
guys
their
trying to
rocks
shut that
off.
shit down.